Now I can hear. On here now. I couldn't hear.
Hi guys, welcome in to the RUMA Mill here with Uma and Big Rosé and our guests. Hi Rosé.
What's Gucci? What's Gucci? Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? What's going on?
We're good. We're doing good. We're having some technical difficulties, guys. I don't know if you guys can see me lagging, but from my computer where we're streaming from, it's very laggy. But you know, the show must go on, so we will prevail. Tonight we have two special guests with us. From the Meetme app, we have Aphrodisiac and Humble Savage. Hi guys, welcome in.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
We ain't got sounds yet, but we gonna make it work, right?
We're gonna try. Big shout out to Slight Jackson watching from YouTube. Hi there. We do hope to have a good show tonight, despite all the technical difficulties. So, interesting week. I know we're going to talk about Diddy because everybody's talking about Diddy. But before we get there, there's been other things happening in the news this week. So we're going to get to that first and foremost. And Rosé and I originally had 5 topics, but just before I came on here, I added a 6th topic that we're just going to jump into right now, if that's okay with everybody. All right. We're doing good, Slights. And hi, BN. Thank you for coming over. Appreciate you guys. Yes. Tell your friends, come to the RUMA Mill Friday nights at 9 p.m. Okay, Humble, you can't see the comments? Okay, you can see it now? Good.
We are immatures. We are immatures.
All right, so before we get into our topics, have you guys been noticing that recently there's been a wave of CEO departures from major companies?
Yeah, I see that.
And it's not limited to one industry. Some notable departures have been Brian Niccol. He was the Chipotle CEO. He left to become the CEO of Starbucks. Jack Dorsey was Twitter's CEO, resigned. And other tech CEOs like Larry Page, Sergey Brin from Google, Jeff Bezos from Amazon also departed. So in May, there was a 21-year high in CEO departures, with 224 CEOs leaving their positions. The government nonprofit sector had the most departures, followed closely by the technology sector. Experts are looking at some reasons behind the departures, various factors like the challenges of navigating post-pandemic workplaces, talent management and retention. The tech industry in particular faced intense scrutiny and pressure from politicians and the public. Some CEOs have cited retirement or seeking better opportunities, while others left due to misconduct allegations. But what do you guys think about all these departures? I'm curious about what you guys are thinking.
It could be because I guess with the election and stuff going on, that if or when Kamala wins, she's gonna start making these companies pay their fair share of taxes.
I like how you did that, Afro. You just kind of snuck that in there. When Kamala wins.
Since Afro went, I'm gonna say, like, like when the pandemic was going on, this was happening too. So it could be something coming. A lot of times they try to use like something to distract us. Like the Diddy situation is very serious, but it could be a distraction. You understand what I'm saying? They're always waving like it's like the carrot and the stick trick. So something like that. That's how I feel. Just pay attention, everybody.
I do agree that something is going on, because I feel like it's so many departures, and it's not just the small companies, it's the larger companies. So it makes me kind of, Uma is like the conspiracy theorist of the board here, okay? And it makes me wonder, like, are all the rich people going underground, or do they know about something coming and they're all like, all right, we're gonna go to Mars now, let's get on our private pods and get out of here. It just seems really excessive. What do you think, Humble?
I don't honestly, I haven't been keeping up with the election because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I have a party I do vote, but it's like they're all the same to me. I don't even think I can actually answer this. They're all the same.
I love it, because I feel like this is a varied panel. Like, we have each box represents a different part of the US population right now. So that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's jump into our topics, okay? Now, I am usually when I say that, I already have the screen up, but because my computer is moving at the speed of snail, we're just gonna wait until it decides to join us.
Yeah. While we wait, what about the well, it's here. I was gonna say, what about the DoorDash thing that we seen today?
Oh, yeah. So we could talk about that. Funny side note, I was scrolling through Instagram and I found this really hilarious post, and it talked about, oh, are you worried about your boyfriend cheating on you? Don't hire a private investigator, hire a DoorDasher. And they literally had this woman who ordered food to be delivered to her house, but she contacted the dasher and said, for the love of God, do not deliver the food to the house. I'm away on a family trip. My husband's home alone, and I want to make sure there's no cars in the driveway. Can you just literally pull up to the driveway and tell me what cars are in the driveway, and then keep the $10 tip and keep the food too, So the dasher was like, I'm in line at El Taco. What do you want? So I told Rosé, I said, because he dashes on the side. And I said, give it a month. You're probably going to be really busy with a lot of females trying to check in on their man. I think that's genius.
Mm. That's crazy, right, yeah. Like they
For
said,
Well, I'd say if they want you to be an investigator, tell them it's $100 tip to get that information.
I'm gonna
I
just say, women is very clever.
I
Like, I
agree. If the
go to
price is
that.
right.
What's the love?
Am I muted? Hold on.
No.
Okay. I told Rosé, I said, they're gonna have a code like when he gets his request to pick up something at the restaurant, it'll be like code blue or code red, which means like you get to keep the food. They just want you to go and check on the house and see who's there. I think that's just hilarious. All right, moving on. We are going to move into our first topic tonight. I swear my computer is moving so slow. It's driving me nuts.
The picture come up, just go into it. Hopefully the picture comes up while you going into it. There you go. See, I told you.
Okay. So the first topic for tonight is this week, J-Lo's first ex-husband, oops. J-Lo's first ex-husband actually started speaking out. Now, this is a big thing because we have not heard from him for the past 20 years, right? So I'm going to give you the synopsis of it, and then I want to get your guys' opinions on it. So the Economic Times reported Jennifer Lopez's first husband, Ojani Noah, is speaking up based on the experience of marrying the actress. Now, the actor finalized his divorce from the singer in 1998. They were only married for about 11 months. If you guys don't remember Ojani, you remember he had that whole backstory where he was 15. He came over to America on a raft from Cuba with several other young guys, 15, 16-year-olds. And then he got a job working in Gloria Estefan's restaurant. And at the time, J-Lo was just coming into her come up. So she was filming in Florida, some movie with, I think it was with Jack Nicholson. And she and Ojani locked eyes at the restaurant, and she just knew there was something special about him. So then they quickly dated and then quickly got married. And he said that, it was a pretty normal married life. They would go out to eat, they would go to the movies and, and do all of that. But they divorced after 11 months. Her blossoming career took off, and it took a pressure and a toll on the marriage. So they ended up divorcing. So recently he came out this week talking about, the fact that she's getting a divorce from Ben Affleck, and he requested his ex-wife to stay single for a while, which he expressed in an interview with the Daily Mail. The 50-year-old actor told Jennifer Lopez in the midst of Lopez and Ben Affleck's divorce to take a break for 12 months. And in time, if she encountered someone new, she can keep it private and not get hitched again. Ojani Noah doesn't want to recreate a romantic bond with Jennifer Lopez. He also advised Lopez that when she is with someone, she must spend quality time with them instead of focusing on being in the spotlight. What do you guys think? Do you think Ojani Noah it's appropriate for him to comment on her current situation when, they've been apart for 20 years? Like, can he relate to her now? And is his advice solid?
I want to go first. I believe that's probably the best advice I heard for her. Like, if y'all notice in her history and her past relationships, she leaves somebody 3 months, 4 months later, she's in another relationship. She's spotted somewhere with somebody. Sometimes I feel like she don't love herself enough. You understand? And also, sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you just need to just be free. No type of other energy included in your energy. You just going about your business and getting to it. Like, so I believe J-Lo needs to take more than a year off. But a year is good for the start. And I believe he also has the right to tell her because he also knew her before she got real big. So she was at that point where she was still Jennifer before she was J-Lo. So she was at that point where you start to evolve, and he knew her before she got all the money. So I felt like she should take his advice a little bit, or with a grain of salt, or maybe more.
All right. What do you guys think? Humble, Afro, what do you guys think?
I gotta agree with Hoochie Daddy. What Hoochie Daddy said um that her first husband advice is actually right. That she needs to be single at least for a whole year because she's like who's that one um that one lady, I forget what her name is. Elizabeth Taylor. She's like Elizabeth Taylor.
Right.
She's going for her title of being married the most. So she needs to slow it down and do that. And plus, her career has taken a hit from that documentary thing that she put out, and you see that the tickets were only selling for like $30 or something like that because like she's even been exposed like the other like her other ex that's coming up in the story. She's been exposed for being a fake, so she needs to cool it down and take some time for herself, and then hopefully maybe you know revive her career or go find somebody else. I don't know, but his advice is solid though.
It does seem from the outside looking in that she tends to jump from relationship to relationship because in the span of 20 years, 20 plus years, this is her fourth husband she's with, right? First it was Ojani, then it was the backup dancer, then it was Mark Anthony, it was nearly A-Rod, but that didn't go through, and then it was Ben Affleck, right? So yeah, it does seem, like, okay, if it wasn't J Lo, if it was just a regular girl on the street, what would we say about that girl? We would say that girl's codependent, she's needy, she needs a relationship, right? She don't know herself outside of a relationship. But I think we kind of like tiptoe around the topic because it is a celebrity. Do you guys think that, or
I don't think I don't think per se us. I think sometimes the media. I think people like us that don't really have a stake in these things give some of the most honest opinions and answers to these things because we take away all the materialistic things, the monetary, all of that, and we just talking about a basic person that keeps losing relationships or keep being a failure, having failure relationships, don't take no time for themselves, but continuously jumps in another relationship. That never works. A therapist will even tell you that's insanity. You're doing the same thing over and over. That's insanity. No matter how you look at it. So that's what I gotta say. But
yeah. And it's there's going to be a lot. My prediction is that there's going to be a lot of heat on J Lo right now because you got her divorce going through with Ben Affleck, um, and now this whole Diddy case. Because some people are saying her name is going to get called, and she's part of the big organization there. And I just think it's kind of weird that all of a sudden he comes out of uh, the shadows, if you will, and he's having this interview. It almost feels like, I'm not a big fan of J-Lo, I'll be honest with you guys, but it does feel a little bit planned or staged. Don't you guys think so?
it could be that, but it could be he really could just care for her. Like they was married for 11 months. Maybe he cared and she left him, and he's still harboring that, and maybe he wants her back. Maybe this is the way he's going about. Like,
Well, he said he doesn't want her back. He just wanted to give advice, and he gave it to the I think it was the Daily Mail. So I'm wondering if they reached out to him for commentary, and that's what I'm looking at. Like they're just trying to be a little bit more messy.
Can
But
I say something?
yep,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna say because especially with the thing with Diddy and them. Honestly, J Lo knows something, but I don't think she's like involved. I think that's why, if you notice, that was probably one of her shortest relationships was with Diddy.
Oh, I wonder how long they were together. That's a good point.
If I'm correct, that was like her shortest relationship. It was like you heard that they were together, and they just wasn't.
No, remember she broke up with him immediately after that, after the shooting in that club. Like she after that club got shot up with them inside. After the whole maybe I guess like a week later they were done, and she
So
never looked back.
she actually was with him from 1999 to 2001, and she cited his infidelity as the reason for their split. They were together, yeah.
But she knew how he was. Come on, look who he learned all that from.
oh wait.
I don't remember the guy's name, but that guy taught Puff Daddy P Diddy. Whatever his name is. That's what you know.
Simmons, Clyde Davis.
He was rootless with it though, because I remember, I read a lot of the blogs and the posts and stuff, and I remember they were interviewing somebody in Diddy's camp, and they were interviewing, asking about the freak offs and stuff like that. And this particular person from his camp, now y'all don't quote me because this was a long time ago, like maybe a year ago I read this, and he said, oh, Diddy was like a perv, and he just always was very sexual. I'm trying to figure out what I could say on YouTube, but that one time they came home from an event, and J-Lo went upstairs, to like shower, get changed, whatever, and he was with his boys, and they were downstairs in some kind of like den or living room, and he had the guys close the door. So J-Lo is just thinking her man's hanging out with some friends or whatever, and he had a girl there, and she was on her knees, meeting the eggplant, and J-Lo was right upstairs. I was like, that's crazy. That's
I believe it. I definitely believe it.
Yeah. Well, after you heard about all that we heard about this week, which we're going to get into soon enough. Welcome in, everybody. This is the RUMA Mill with Uma and Big Rosé. And tonight we have our special guest, Aphrodisiac and Humble Savage from the Meetme app. Guys, don't forget to every now and then just drop your info in the comments so people can know how they can get a hold of you if they wanted to like check in with you guys. All right, we're going to move to our next topic.
So being that we're in the music industry right now, Nelly, Nelly is being sued by his former bandmates for the Country Grammar album, for money owed for the Country Grammar album. They said Nelly owes former bandmate I-20 $91,000. He sent them a check for $13,000. Also, Nelly sold his publishing last year for $50 million, and I think Country Grammar sold 12 million records. So a big portion of that 50 million is because, and this is what these guys feel like, because they helped him. Because Nelly was never the rapper; these guys was the rappers. Nelly was just the handsome guy. The girl is the gallus, if we West Indian. So that's going on with that. And Nelly was also found in the news last month with ecstasy. So I want to know, because Nelly had a lot to do with Diddy. I want to know, do you think all this bad news is coming out because of the Diddy involvement, or you think this bad news is coming out because it's just coming out and it's time to come out?
I think like Cat Williams said, it's the age of the Aquarius. Everything is coming to light. So I think what he should do is since the CD that sold 12 million copies, give them $12 million out of that out of that 50 million, and
It's
call
fine
it a day and
for the
get it over with. Because basically, if they put in more work than he did, and he just was like the pretty face of the group, then he should cut them a check.
That's really interesting to hear that he didn't pay his people. When Rosé came up with this topic, I was really, really shocked. I just I think what you guys are saying about the Cat Williams, I've been saying this whole week. Cat Williams must be psychic because it's like he set the tone for this year. You know, like it was January with the Cat Williams interview on the Shannon Sharp's podcast, and I feel like he just opened the floodgates. And do you guys notice January sets the tone for the rest of the year? Because that one year, that was the year that Kobe Bryant died in the helicopter crash. It was in January. And this year, it's the Cat Williams podcast that just kind of blew everything open. So you're right. Everything done in the dark is coming to light. That's what I feel about the Nelly situation. That I feel the illusions crumbling, because how many of us that are in our 30s and 40s, right? We grew up watching these people and wanting to be these people. We wanted to have the jewelry and the cars and that lifestyle and fly on private jets. And we thought that's what you can do. You can work hard, become a rapper, become an actress, become a singer. You can make a lot of money and you can have all these things. But now we're finding out it's all a facade, right? Half of those, like when they had another interview with somebody this week, and she said she worked with all those millionaire people and they're broke. They're broke. All of that is for show. They don't even own the cars or the jets. It's on loan. You know, they wear these jewelry for the video shoots and they have to give it back. So I just feel like we're seeing behind the curtain, if you will.
I wouldn't. I agree with you, but I wouldn't say Cat Williams is a psychic. I would say he was blackballed for like 10 years, and when he first came out, it was around 2008. Like when he had his first stand up special, he was talking about these things, and he was like, "Remember, I went to the Hollywood party." I'm like, "Oh no, Professor Ogilvy." He was saying all these things, and then they shut him up. And Shannon, it just so happened Shannon was popping, and Shannon just let him speak. If you pay attention to that interview, Cat Williams really curated that interview.
I actually wanted to do that tonight after we got off the podcast, was to, when the boys come home from school, to just put it on the TV and rewatch that interview. I just been feeling a need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I watched it twice. Yeah, I could watch it. That'll be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody that has been in the news lately is the people that he was exposing. You know, remember Steve Harvey had his little scandal this year with his wife cheating on them and
Right.
this and that, and then
Kevin
now
Hart.
now it's Kevin Hart, then Diddy, and some other people that's about to, before the end of this year, is going to be some other people exposed that he was talking about.
I mean, I was saying this earlier. There's gonna be more people exposed. You gotta look at it. Jay-Z wasn't innocent either, y'all.
So
He had Foxy Brown at 15.
we're definitely going to get to that part about Jay-Z when we talk about
Right.
Diddy. But to be honest, actually, you might be psychic as well. I just wish my slides were working as fast as my mouth is working, because
Hey,
okay, let's not get too excited here. Stacy Baby from Meetme said, I heard that they said this year is not for Jay-Z and that's next year. So that's really interesting because my next topic is about Jay-Z. That's why I said that Humble might be psychic. All right. In news this week, we will get to that, Stacy. Trust me, we will absolutely get to that. In news this week, Jay-Z calls out the CMA, the Country Music Awards. So according to CBS News, the 2024 Country Music Awards nominations came out this week, but Beyonce's name was notably missing from the list of nominees. The pop icon made her foray into country music in March of this year with the release of Cowboy Carter. The 27-track album featured fan favorites Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. It broke streaming records on its release, becoming Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in 2024 and earning the title of most first day streams of a country album by a female artist on Amazon Music. So some people are arguing that with all that success, how come she is not mentioned in the nominees? And then, according to the CMA website, the nominees and winners of the annual award show are determined by the Country Music Association, which consists of 6,000 industry professional members. People on the other side of the argument are saying that Jay-Z and Beyonce paid their way and bought their way in the other award shows, ceremonies, that you can do that, but you can't pay your way in country music. So what do you guys feel? Is Jay-Z appropriate for calling out the CMAs? Do you feel like he has a point that Beyonce was snubbed, that there might be racism? Or do you feel that they pay their way in the other industries and they can't pay their way in CMAs, and CMAs is just sticking true to quality of music?
Yeah, I could go first. One of the two.
They're greedy. So
Yeah, I
I feel
feel
the
that.
country, the country music, they feel it. They know it. Like Beyonce, y'all are almost billionaires of that. How much more do you want to take out of each? You know what I mean? I understand you're talented, but I don't feel her country songs are all that.
So that's another argument too, because a lot of people have been saying, I didn't really feel the music. I didn't really care for it. Go for Greatness on Meetme said, nope, that's like calling out the Oscars for not giving Leonardo DiCaprio an award when he deserved it. I didn't like her music.
This is what I gotta say about it. If Taylor Swift can do the same, if Taylor Swift can be country and then all of a sudden turn pop, and she gets the awards on the other side, why can't Beyonce do the same thing? The only difference I see between them two is that what's the name? She's a plain Jane white woman, and Beyonce is Beyonce.
So you feel there is some discrimination?
Cause what's the name? She's jumped from genre. She's jumped from um I would say like country, because she came out as like a country pop type of person, and then now all she does is just pop, and she was accepted into the pop realm, and and I believe she had got country nominations and awards from the country people, if I'm not mistaken. So if she can do that, and she was only doing country like for a couple of years and then she bounced into pop, why can't Beyonce do the same thing?
Okay, that's a fair point.
I gotta say this because I feel you on that. But Taylor Swift kind of did it in her younger years. She wasn't. She kind of was trying to find herself or where she was gonna end up at. Beyonce already knew where she was at and still knows where she's at. You know, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
but
say okay, they should have nominated her.
yeah, but
But
as an artist, you don't have to do that at your young age. As an artist, you should be able to explore other realms and do other things. Like, say, for instance, Whitney Houston. She was more pop and R&B, but then she also released a gospel album, The Preacher's Wife. the Preacher's Wife soundtrack, and she broke all type of records, and so is I think her record is still unbroken as the most successful gospel album, and it was received well. So if she can, that's somebody that's somebody that you can compare to Beyonce, because Whitney Houston is a mega black star, and Beyonce is a mega black star too. So and Whitney Houston went into and released the gospel album, and Beyonce released the country album. So you know, I think that she can do the same thing, and Whitney Houston did it in her later years too. So I don't see the difference.
I
Well, it's
feel,
because they friends with P Diddy. I'm keeping it real.
I, I feel like I basically feel like the album wasn't good enough. Like, and then the album came out at a bad time for her. Because if you look at it, that's when the Diddy news came out and they got low. Beyonce and Jay-Z got low. So I'm not allegedly, I don't know what's going on with them, But the album wasn't good enough, and if you're gonna try to break into the country music, the CMA, you got to come better than that. Personally, that's what I'm gonna say. Y'all only heard them two songs. The album is not based on two songs. If it was a R&B album and she only had two hot songs, I don't think it would have been nominated neither on the black side. So I'm gonna just go with that. I feel about this situation, right?
I agree with that.
Beautiful. All right, guys, welcome in to the RUMA Mill here with Uma and Big Rosé. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, but we are soldiering on with our two beautiful guests, Aphrodisiac and Humble Savage. For those of you that are watching live on YouTube, thank you so much for your comments and sticking with us. And for those of you watching the recording, we apologize, but it is a new show and we're getting better and better. All right. Mission Israel Impossible.
Mission Israel Impossible. How y'all feel about that movie? It was fire. I mean, sorry for the loss of lives. We never want to see nobody, going away or none of that. But let me read this for y'all. So Israel intelligence made bombs out of pages and walkie-talkies, and they got it to Hezbollah, and they let it off. They let off the text or the page at 3:30 in the afternoon in Lebanon, and a lot of people was hurt. I think 9 people was killed, but a lot of people was hurt from debris scatter and all kind of other things. I want to know how y'all feel if they could put bombs in these old backdated pages. Do y'all think how do y'all feel about y'all iPhones and Samsung Galaxies and stuff like that? Because I don't really want to talk about the war that's going on over there. It's sad. I brought this news to talk about just how they moving over there, how the intelligence is moving.
It definitely makes you aware that you have to have your phone in your hand at all times. You cannot leave your phone alone. You cannot put your phone down because somebody could just put a chip in it that will trigger it to blow up, you know? Um, it's a very scary concept. I don't really follow the news, so I did not know that that's what was happening over there. They were putting bombs in pagers and phones. That is very, very scary. And I'm glad that it wasn't more mass destruction. Like you said, there were 9 people that were unalived, and I'm very sorry for that and for the loss of those families. But my goodness, right? They could have really done some damage if that was more well thought out. They could have really done some damage.
So do you feel like we rely too much on these phones and all these things like to just to have that thought in your head that you can't walk around with your phone, or the way these hackers and these people get to touch stuff before we even receive it now? Do y'all feel, do you have a fear of like just having your phone because of that, because that's kind of weird to me.
I don't need a phone. I didn't even grow up with a phone. Look, my first cell phone was that Nokia. Y'all know what it was.
I think we all did.
Those were the that was exploded too. Those were some of the models. But go ahead.
Yeah, see? And we had house phones. You just keep, you know how the house phones work. I mean, it's weird. I kind of feel like it's weird. I mean, I guess so. The older folks have house phones, but the way the technology and where we're at in life, nobody calls a house phone.
Yeah, I only have a cell phone. I don't have a house phone. Um, I think I've noticed for myself because I am a live streamer and I do a lot of my day is spent online, whether it's with live streaming or using Zoom uh, to talk to my clients. It's it's ingrained itself into our life, you know? And now when you're looking at the future, they're trying to like literally imprint these phones into our bodies where you could like pull up your arm and look at TV from your arm, you know? So it's getting scary. It's getting scary. And I'm kind of glad that, you know, it's coinciding with me getting older and getting ready. You know, at some point I'll be leaving this planet when things to me will just be getting worse.
Now, do you take it that they're promoting radiation? Because they keep making all kinds of Bluetooths and everything. I actually don't use my Bluetooths no more because that's like having a microwave in your ear.
Facts.
I got strings. I do got some strings, though.
I think they're trying to make us robots. I think they're trying to make us more robotic. That AI, like when I tell you Chat GPT changed my life, you know, the AI is everywhere now. You can just type in anything and the robots are figuring it out for you. It's a very scary time.
I don't even use AI really.
They use it. They using AI to make albums and stuff for people who can't even sing.
Mm-mm.
I heard a song the other day by Drake, and I swore it was Drake until Rosé's like, "That's not Drake. That's
Mm-mm.
because it was talking about BBL. Um, I don't even remember. It was something like a diss back to Kendrick Lamar, and I was just like, "This is crazy."
That wasn't Drake, but it sounded like Drake. That
Yeah,
was, but his name fake. That ain't Drake. That's his clone. I believe it. How y'all? I mean, all that's like I don't know. I it can get deeper. Because you said, do you think they're making us into robots? I feel there are robots already out here.
facts.
Human robots, different species.
Well,
You
didn't
you gotta look at.
didn't Elon Musk make himself a robot girlfriend?
No, I don't know all about that, but that is wild. That is wild.
Yeah, I wish I had that on here for real.
I saw something on TikTok where they it was like in I think Japan or China that they were like showing this human human type robot and and it was like it favored like an Asian woman, but you could tell that it was a robot though.
I don't know if you guys can see this. Tell me if you can see this.
No, it's blurry, and it's you need to move it a little bit to the
Other
I think to
side,
like the right or the left.
closer to you.
Uh, yeah, it's still blurry though. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Oh, here, I could show it here on Meetme.
yeah.
That's not a real woman, but it looks like a real woman.
No,
This is
listen.
crazy. Yeah, just Google Elon Musk robot girlfriend.
That's wild, yeah. That is very wild.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
does he?
y'all seen our robot? Y'all know whatever they put in movies, man.
It's
It's going
coming next.
yeah, it's gonna come. That's just the test. They just show it to y'all. So when they bring it out, it will be weird to y'all. Y'all be like, oh, y'all just bypass it. I seen that in the movie.
Well, other
So
countries they're a little over with them. You know, they're more excelled in doing things more future than we are. You know.
cool.
That is a fact.
Yeah, because China is like in 2021 with like
2021.
with their technology, like is at least 100 years better than ours.
You mean 2121?
Well, yeah, 21. I mean,
I was like, huh?
I was like,
I
you went
said they
backwards.
were a little better than us, but I didn't expect that.
Afro was eating a gummy. I'm just gonna put it out there.
he went backwards 3 years. All right. Well, listen, we are really here for the main event. Guys, I have been studying this whole issue from since Monday. And I swear every day it's like some new piece of information was coming out, and it's just been a madhouse. So I'm going to share with you guys what I found out this week. You guys, please fill in the blanks as we go along. Earlier this week, we were all shook on Monday when we found out that the feds had custody of P. Diddy, and they had brought him in on alleged charges of child trafficking um, charges. So they brought in P. Diddy. There were several. Now, what I'm saying is just things I've gathered from TikTok and Instagram and newsreels and podcasts. So it's a big jumbled mess because I hardly slept this week following all the craziness that's been going on. So from what I've heard is that he knew he was being picked up at this hotel in New York. People who saw him, eyewitnesses who saw him, said he was going around the neighborhood, just getting with people, kind of like saying goodbye, saying his goodbyes and whatnot. A lot of people said he was high out his mind, like his eyes were glazed over. He was allegedly doing like a lot of weed. It's legal in New York. And they picked him up. They searched his hotel room, which sounds weird because he already knew they were going to pick him up. So that wasn't where he had everything. While he was in custody, his lawyers asked for a $50 million bail plus the chance for him to remain at his house with ankle monitor and under house arrest while they proceed with the case, to which the judge denied. He said, absolutely not, because they unsealed the case that he had with Cassie. And there were videos that were recovered at the house that actually had actual videos of these freak offs that were going on at the mansion. And they're saying that due to the violent nature of the films, they do not feel he should be outside around the population. So his bail was denied. He is currently detained at a New York detention center that is notoriously known as a very violent place. In fact, they recently had an unaliving happening over the summer where a man that was locked up awaiting gun charges, he was stabbed to unalivedness, over the summer there. They said also that it's a very rough detention center. There's some worry from people that he will not make it to trial. The sister detention center to the one in Brooklyn where Diddy is being held is the one notorious for Epstein, where the guards fell asleep and Epstein, unalived himself. Currently, as of today, I heard that Diddy is on a suicide watch while at the detention center, but I also read that was normal. That was just, part of the normal part of the bookings for inmates there. A lot has been going on this week. Where are you guys at with this? What's going on?
There's way more stuff. Let me get into it. Government obtained 90 cell phones. 90 laptops, electronic devices, 30 hard drives, 40 thumb drives, and video storage. Um, Government seized Diddy passport and family passport because they're scared of him threatening witnesses. Three defaced AR-15s with
Oh
50
yeah.
caliber magazines was found. When Diddy was apprehended, they found pink cocaine on him in the hotel, even though he was going to be arrested. They still found pink dust, which included cocaine and ecstasy in it. What else? They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube.
Well,
Um,
that's the thing.
he's it's a 14-page indictment. If you want, you could read it. He's charged on racketeering, sex trafficking, and drug charges. Those are the three charges. The racketeering is
That's the
50
biggest charge.
years. Yeah, that's the RICO. He's hit with a RICO. They said he used Bad Boy to basically funnel money to have these parties and to just have the strength. They said Diddy was a monster. The day Diddy got locked up, CEO of Warner Music Group Kevin Lau stepped down amid of Diddy news. He ran a company for 2 decades, but he was always adamant for Diddy, defending him on these charges. Also, Kim Porter releases a memoir called The Lost Words of Kim Porter. It's basically diary entries. She said Diddy was messing with a young famous pop star, allegedly. I believe it's Justin Bieber, allegedly. Right, we're gonna say that. It's just a lot of stuff going on, man. But you know, what I'm gonna say is I think I think this all started with the liquor company, and I also think this all started with Warner Brothers, cause Diddy got in trouble. He was sent a cease and desist letter for wearing the Joker costume, and they said, "Yo, you can't do that again." And then the next year he wore Batman, and Warner Brothers they had a fit with him. Then he only the liquor company that he was supposedly owned. He only put $1,000 into it to the Ciroc, and the guys at that company, I forgot the name of the company. They said they was gonna get another. They said they was gonna get somebody else to sell the liquor. Diddy said in his deal, he don't want no other black person. He don't want them to go through no other black person without. So it's a lot of stuff coming down from Diddy, besides the sexual charges, because that's what everybody else is. It's drug charges. It's a lot going on. So we just want to know how y'all feel.
I feel this, I said this a long time ago when all the stuff started coming out about Diddy and these tapes and all of that. I had a vision of like, did you guys watch Big Bang Theory with Sheldon and the gang? And they used to play chess, right? And they had different chess boards stacked one on top of the other. And it was like 3D chess. Like you had to make a move at the bottom, but you could make a move on the top. And it was just like a lot of craziness going on. But I had a vision that in these circles, it's like puppets on a string. And there's that story of Icarus, right? The boy who wanted to fly and he made these mechanical wings and he flew and he got greedy and he wanted to go to the sun and he flew too close to the sun and he got burned and ultimately falling to his demise. I feel like Diddy was Icarus. He was on top of the world. He had it all, but then he got greedy, right? The Warner Brothers thing they're talking about in the blogs and stuff that he pissed off people at the Warner Brothers. They're talking with the costume thing. They're talking about, he pissed off the Ciroc people because he was claiming racism. And then didn't he bring like a lawsuit against Ciroc? So I feel like the higher ups on the string that is Diddy's string were tired. They were tired of this guy just making all these problems and then all this covering up they have to do for all these alleged murders and, essays and whatnot. And they were just like, cut the string, cut the string, Now, what we need to figure out is what's going to happen next. Because how do you cut the string on a puppet that has a lot of information? You're going to have to silence that puppet. You can't let that puppet out to talk and give up all the goods and the secrets and whatnot, So that's why I'm feeling, my opinion, we got another Epstein case coming along.
He ain't gonna make it out. Every time I keep thinking about this question and thinking about it, I'm like, he ain't gonna make it out, because either way he go, he becomes a snitch. Somebody's gonna pay for him to definitely be gone.
Well,
So
with the charges,
snitches
sorry.
get snitched.
Yeah, with the charges, like for what Rosé said, there's like 4 counts. There's the racketeering, there's the trafficking, because every time you go to like a different state and have a party and you bring a S worker with you, you're crossing state lines, right? So there's like there's all these things, the racketeering, the trafficking, the kidnapping, the assaults itself. They're saying that he's looking at a minimum of like 20, 25 years to life. So when you look at it, because he's 54.
Damn.
So if he did a minimum of 20 years, he's getting out in his 70s, actually, which is about the same time, because R. Kelly is getting out at 75. Right? Who's the other guy? The notorious one, Suge Knight. He's getting out at 79.
Well, I don't think I give him parole. I don't think Diddy's getting parole.
Yeah.
I think his first, if he did last that long, they're gonna deny his first parole. Just because I heard like everybody's story. He's a nasty dude. He's a very nasty man. That's the devil himself right there.
Dark skinned Diddy.
Well, that's the thing, because people are saying it could go one or two ways, right? It can go like the Epstein way, or this can be bigger than the O.J. Simpson case. In fact, some people are saying if he does make it to trial, this case will be the case of the century.
Yeah, it will be.
And we're all going to be glued to the TV. I told everybody in my streaming community, we're going to be having watch parties every time, because I was glued to the TV when that OJ thing went down. Because there's way more stuff that's going to come out with this case. And then how many people are going to come forward? Like there was allegations about Justin Bieber and Usher being abused. Foxy Brown, are they going to come out with their stories? Or are they going to be too shy or too scared to come out with their stories?
I mean, their parents, I heard, been talking now. Yeah, they like, that's how, like, when it first started coming out, I heard Bieber's mom was talking about, yeah, he bought my son a car. It's on came up on the internet. He bought my son he's only 16 or 15. What you buying him this kind of, like trying to pay him off to get what he want with all of them, whether boys, girls.
I'm still shocked at the 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
What are you doing with those baby oils, sir?
I knew you were going to go there. Jaguar Wright said something about those were for Rick Ross. I didn't get to watch the video, but I want to know why she said. Jaguar Wright said those were for Rick Ross, and I didn't get to watch the video. I wanted to see why she said they were for Rick Ross. I don't know.
Diddy had a big Rick Ross blow.
What?
He was a big part of Rick Ross blowing up, getting to that next level in the rap game. She could be right. This thing goes. It goes. So, like I would say, I mean, everybody knew this. I knew this probably like after Mace left, I knew Diddy was fine because everybody left Mace with York. So Diddy ain't been the same since Biggie died. So after that, people really didn't really do nothing productive. He ain't make no anything since Diddy died. All he been doing is selling us liquor. So that's
Making one-hit wonders.
how you look.
Yeah, he been scamming. He been scamming them, making the band people out of their money and stuff. And
I think the one-hit wonders are about to come out because something's up with them. You gotta look at it. They were good artists. All those artists were good. Like one, you know the groups. He did shit. I mean, he did stuff. You know what I mean? You know he did because obviously they didn't make it because that was told. You hear Diddy's known to blackball people in the game. So after dealing with him, no one else is gonna sign him or deal with him. But he had good artists that had the potential to be more.
What do you guys say to people that say this is the end of hip hop?
No.
I would say that hip hop. I wouldn't say this gonna end hip hop. I think streams is in hip hop because I think hip hop is oversaturated. No, it's quantity and no quality. Like it's so crazy because I really love music, but if you come in my stream, you're gonna notice I'm playing old school or something like 4 or 5 years ago because I can't get jiggy with. That's just
Facts. I can't get jiggy with it either.
So go for greatness from Meetme said, "Day drain the swamp. Let the good ones be great. Let the bad ones fade away." Is that what's happening? Are they draining the swamp?
That sounds.
I mean, they need to because they need to just get some new blood. Like we need to do something different because the higher ups ain't really doing nothing but selling us liquor. So I mean, really and truly, we could use some new blood in here. They ain't selling us nothing. At least 50 Cent had him in water before he sold us liquor. He tried to do something good. Like you see, I like people like that. Like 50 Cent got the last laugh to me and all this. Because 50 Cent tried to get signed by Diddy and Jay-Z. And 50 Cent had to go get signed by Eminem all the way in the West Coast. So at the end of the day, 50 is winning. So if y'all know that, beat the 40 power, it gets 30.
Go for greatness said the elites need to be held accountable for all of the pain and distraction they've brought to the world. Trafficking humans is deplorable. And Silence Jackson said Diddy is getting justice finally, but someone say his arrest covered the news with the Trump situation. That is another thought. That are they doing all of this now because of the elections?
probably they're trying to sidetrack people from not staying focused on the election. But I don't think it's gonna work though, because everybody already knew Diddy was Diddy, anyways. Just like they knew R. Kelly was R. Kelly and
Right.
Epstein was Epstein. So it goes in one ear and out the other, and they're gonna still be focused on what they're trying to make us not think about.
Have you guys seen that new movie Blink Twice?
Mm-mm.
So in Blink Twice, there's this new movie out with Channing Tatum. He's playing a famous celebrity guy named Slater King. It's a fictional character. It was directed by Zoe Kravitz, the daughter of Lenny Kravitz. For some reason, there's just too many similarities to Diddy. And she's saying it's not like on one person, it's just on the makeup of certain people in Hollywood, you know? But it just like just the way he like when they had there was a part of the movie that kind of alluded to the freak offs, and it was violent. It was nothing like I've ever seen before. It was actually quite traumatic to watch because it was definite abuse of women and manipulation of women and then violence on women. And the women could not remember anything. And that was weird.
That's because they're drugging them too.
Right.
But in all fairness, it's foul. But in the movie, they was taking the drugs at first. They were. I mean, the other drug that no. I'm wrong. I can't give y'all what's going on. But it looks like in the movie that they're taking the drug
willingly.
Give y'all the rest of the movie. But it's crazy. Yo, the movie is so real. It depicts so much real facts and how some people get lost by just the flash. Like you get swooped away on a jet, private island. In the movie, half of them ain't even know each other. They all just it's crazy.
That's true. That is true. Go for Greatness said this election is a huge deal. It's going to take more than Diddy to distract us. That is so true.
Right.
But I gotta vote.
See, I mean, if you look at it, Bad Boy, they wasn't really a family. He actually made that to a cult.
No, I'm joking.
I'm keeping that real.
Yeah.
Because you had to, you see some of the stuff that they put out there, like and people talk on, they're like, yo, it's like you had to do what he said or he get, you know what I mean?
But you know, they said like they had a lawyer on YouTube. They were doing an interview with him, and he was saying when you have a RICO charge of racketeering, I'm gonna need you guys to all mute for a second because there's like a kickback. When I'm talking, there's like a kickback. There you go. Yeah, everybody needs to mute when I don't know why, but they were saying that he was saying that because of that racketeering RICO charge, that it's going to bring down the house on a lot of people. So if you worked for Diddy and you were a person who prepared the hotel rooms for these freak offs, you're also getting charged. If you were a person who drove the people from the airport, you're also getting a charge. It's like everybody's going to be coming down with this. It's not just him. So they were asking him, well, what if, you know, they were interviewing him and they said, what if like, say I was the driver and I saw a lot of stuff and I know I should have told somebody, but you know, those NDAs you had to sign and this and that, you know, I don't want to go to jail. What do I do? And he said, the best bet for anybody involved with the whole Diddy case is to come forward now and share the information you have. Because after a while, because they'll make some deals for people who come forward first. And then he said, but after a while, you know, when you come forward trying to tell me something, but I already heard it 10 stories ago, they're going to say, no, I'm sorry. You know, we don't have a deal for you because we already found out all that we needed to find out. So that's why I really hope Diddy makes it to trial, because I'm sure there's going to be so many stories coming out.
I don't think he's gonna kill his. I don't think he's gonna unalive himself. I don't see that.
I don't think Epstein unalived himself either. I think he was unalived. He was helped to being unalived. This personally.
No, I don't. I think Diddy gonna survive. I think he's gonna go to jail. I just don't. I don't think they're gonna let that happen again. Like, you understand what I'm like? It's too much of similarities for them not to be on him. Like you said, they said they were suicidal watch. It wasn't really because he was suicidal. It's because they're on it. They like, yo, we already lost one. You understand? We're not gonna make this mistake again because it happened in the same place. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn always get all the top
What
gangsters.
about the people in the jail? Do you think New Yorkers love Diddy or hate Diddy?
New Yorkers, it's mixed. It's mixed. It's mixed. To me, it's mixed because the people, at the end of the day, Diddy had a strong influence to certain people. I know people that always said Diddy was their husband since they was kids till they was like 21. So he had that influence on a lot of people. Like Diddy was always king of the parties when the regular parties, not the after parties. Right? Because everybody went to the parties. Everybody went to them parties. So if you're gonna charge you're gonna have to charge everybody. I'm talking about the after parties. He was king of the regular parties, not the after parties. Diddy he had Sean John clothing, shooting million big budget videos. He had one of the best rappers from Brooklyn. He had a big influence in New York. So a lot of people have mixed feelings and stuff. Yeah. Not me though.
Yeah, wrong is wrong, right is right. And when you hurt so many people, it's time to pay the piper, you know? Well, that does it for this week's segment of the RUMA Mill. I want to thank our guests, Aphrodisiac and Humble Savage, for coming through and sharing the spotlight with me and Rosé. Rosé, are we going to be back again next week? Yes, we are. And I look forward to seeing what news we have to come. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the recording, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment for us and let us know how you liked the show. Thank you so much for showing up. Have a great week.
Watch my show.
Why are you teasing so hard?